Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews, where I bring you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today we're talking about a movie, a comic book movie in a sense. I don't know. Talking about Blade. I finally decided to sit down and watch Blade. Maybe I should have watched it in October, but I just review things at random. I'll probably review Blade 2 as well because I remember enjoying that movie. The third one, there's three Blades, obviously, and I don't know if that one's on anything like Hulu or Netflix. And I also think it sucks. Like I've heard it sucks, so I don't want to watch that one that much. But so there'll be a Blade 2 review coming. Here's my Blade 1 review. After just watching it again today, after watching it from years ago when I was super young, when I didn't really care about movies, when I didn't even know Blade was technically a Marvel. Oh God, I just ate. I should not be doing a video yet. But anyway, I didn't know he's not really a Marvel character, but he is from a Marvel comic. And Stan Lee's a producer on it. I just think that's really cool. I'm so obsessed with Marvel now. Any little fucking details like ooh to me. But anyway, in the whole aspect of this, we got Wesley Snipes, one of the greatest choices to play a role. To this role, obviously, we get Tony Stark as or Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Tom Holland as Spider Man and all these perfect choices for this and that. But really, Wesley Snipes as Blade here is perfect. Blade is a daywalker, a vampire. Not really a vampire. I don't know what he is in a sense. He has all the strengths of a vampire, but none of the weaknesses except for the thirst for blood. And they show kind of why early on. And then the opening scene to this movie is probably my favorite scene in the entire movie, and I think it's just perfect. The whole few scenes, like the first 10 minutes of the movie, the intro, the club scene. I'm pretty sure everyone knows the club scene. If you think of Blade, I think you think of this club scene where everyone's dancing around. You see this guy get introduced into the club, thinking he's gonna talk to these women, and then all of a sudden the sprinklers come on and there's blood pouring from the sprinklers, and there's vampires everywhere, and that shit's scary as fuck at first. This is I also love this movie because it's one of the first and the first rated R like comic book s movie. Deadpool. This movie walked or whatever, so Deadpool could run. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they really do that with they really nail it with the gore in this. Obviously, the blood rain from in the club, but there's all types of people getting cut up, stabbed, and exploding in weird ways. Some guy gets his throat ripped out and thrown at another person. Blade is pretty awesome like that. And then, but anyway, yeah, that's the club scene in the beginning, and then Blade shows up and kills tons of vampires, and that's pretty much what this movie is. Is Blade the guy, the daywalker that wears the trench coat and glasses before Neo did it in the Matrix, but before anyone did it, Blade was the first one to really do it. Um, in this action movie where he just kills and hunts vampires for his own means. He also has this mentor guy. Uh, I can't think of his name, but he has a mentor, and I like their dynamic relationship. I kind of wish there was more to it, but I liked what was there. And then there's a woman that gets introduced that is kind of like that gets bit early on, and she slowly is turning into a vampire or whatever. And we kind of see through her eyes the introduction into the vampire world. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much the setup for the movie. The villain is Deacon Frost. This guy. I also like looking at this movie from a hero and villain perspective. Blade versus Deacon Frost. He has henchmen and all that, but Deacon Frost. At first, when I was watching the movie, I really enjoyed the villain. I really enjoyed him, just because they showed him a lot, and he is what he is. He is really living it up, but it is what it is, and I guess he's really not that great, but when compared to other Marvel villains, like that's what I'm doing, comparing him to other villains I've seen on the big screen. I mean, he's not the greatest, but he's not like terrible in my opinion. He's dealable, but by the end of the movie, even with everything he succeeds and gets away with, him standing up against Blade, like it just is no match. Blade is insane in this movie. He is so deadly. The only thing that can hurt him is like himself, you know, pushing himself too far or just not having the serum on him for his needs to not thirst for blood and whatever. I like the science aspect of the movie that they kind of touch on early on, but they kind of lose it later. And there's a few things that it's just a lot of outdatedness. The CGI is very outdated, but like action in general is not. Wesley Snipes did a lot of real stunt work himself, and it shows to this day. The combat scenes are perfect. Not perfect, but they're still great to this day. Um, especially the first one, like I said in the beginning, and towards the end of the movie. I like the sword fighting at the end. There's some cool scenes at the end. But and I would say the movie, it doesn't drag too long. I think it's a little tiny bit too long, coming out at almost 2 hours long. But that's just me being picky. And yeah, I did really enjoy this movie. Like I said, the CGI was a little outdated. The villain is, I didn't mind him, but he was no match against Blade at the end of the day. They don't really leave it on a cliffhanger, but they do kind of leave it there for a Blade 2, and I will be getting to that. Um, yeah, I'd say I liked this movie pretty much. Obviously, of course, I liked it. I'm trying to think how much I liked it. Was it an 8 or a 9? You guys let me know down below. Was this 8, 9, 10, 7, 4, 69? What overall rating was this movie for you guys? Blade is a classic nonetheless. It is, like I said, one of the first rated R films. Definitely really enjoyed it. My final verdict on it, though, is for what it is. It's gonna be a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna see if Blade 2 will be equal to that or top it. I've heard it's good. Uh, but I definitely just enjoyed just seeing Wesley Snipes kill vampires. I almost said zombies, but vampires, and that's what this was. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.